featuring women topic, women issues, anything woman this month for Self-Care Saturday. Kendrick will be back with you next month for the men. So it's all about the men and those things that affect men next week. So today I want to say hello again. Char, you want to say hi to the group?
Hello.
All right, and I'm so excited that Charlize is back with us, one of our young adults. The last time you may have met Charlize 2 weeks ago when she sat along with a panel of 2 other young adults and talked about young adulting. And that was a really good conversation. Before young adulting, though, we had lots of time to meet, connect, and have talks about relationships, too. So today, Charlize was brave enough to come on Self-Care Saturday as we talk about just a little bit about relationships. It's not fair to talk about the full picture of relationships without having Kendrick or a male guest on with us. But so we're just going to take it from whatever it is that God has placed in our heart and from our own experiences. Now, am I a relationship expert? Absolutely not. Am I great at relationships? Absolutely not. But have I been in relationships, good and bad? Absolutely. And so I'm not giving you an expert opinion. I'm not here to tell you to fix anything. Just some little tidbits, nuggets, and have some open dialogue about relationships. What about you, Charlize? Relationships. You're still a young adult. What about you in relationships? What are some thoughts?
I've had a lot of friendships, but when you have a lot of friendships, it comes with a lot of experience. So you understand what you want and what you don't want. I think like with relationships, it comes with the effort.
The effort.
Yes.
On whose part?
On both. It's a 50-50.
It's a 50-50. So relationships are 50-50. And you and I are going to talk a little bit about that. So in order to get to the efforts, in order to get to the understanding and bringing in clarity, and we'll be a little honest and open to the level that you're comfortable being honest and open about it. We'll always be honest. We're comfortable with honesty. But then there are some times that, some matters may have happened that you're not quite ready to deal with. But until that point, we're just going to have a free-flowing conversation. I was laughing with Charlize prior to getting on Self-Care Saturday, and one of the things that I chuckled with her about was we have to take relationships back to the beginning, back to the time when creation began. And so we're going to look at relationships from the point of the first man and the first woman. What do you think about going back to the beginning, Shar?
So you're Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve.
Yes.
Oh wow. What do you know anything about the story? Do you remember anything about Adam and Eve?
No, I do. I just remember she ate from the tree.
Uh-huh.
And she was not supposed to.
Eve did something. Eve and Adam were in the garden. And so we're looking at Eve. And Charlize is telling us, or remembering, that Eve ate from the garden when she wasn't supposed to. That sounds like disobedience to me. And you're right. Eve did eat from the garden when she wasn't supposed to. She had Adam. Adam was first. Eve came after Adam. And God told Adam about this tree, and it's about the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. We all want to be in the know. Eve wanted to be in the know. And the
only way you know is from experience. So she wanted to know.
Ooh. She found out from experience. Was it the right thing to do?
No, it wasn't.
Why?
But was it good or was it bad?
What? Well, was what good or bad?
When she ate from the tree.
Of course it was bad. Why was it bad? Because God himself said, he told Adam, do not eat from this tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Eve, he shared that information with Eve, and in sharing that information with Eve, something happened. something always get in the way. And there was a little snake in the garden. Got to watch out for the garden snakes. And the garden snake introduced it to Eve. He told Eve, don't listen. If you eat from this tree, you will not surely die. Did she die a physical death? No. What happened next? Eve did eat from the tree. She did not die a physical death, but all the pureness, all the cleanliness, all of that left, and sin was introduced into the world. So there are serpents that get in your ear.
In your relationships too?
In your relationships too. Don't you know? Don't you get like this gut feeling that this might not be the place or the plan or the person?
Right.
And what do? Do you ignore the signals?
It depends.
What do you mean it depends? Tell me about the
on like how you're feeling.
And what do feelings have to do with it?
So feelings take a lot.
Okay.
It's a big part in a relationship. I mean, if you don't have feelings, then why are you in a relationship?
So when you said it depends on the feelings, you already knew that this might not be the way to go. But
your feelings are you want to do what you want.
Is that the same thing with Eve?
Yes.
And what?
Same thing.
The same thing. And what happened?
She was told by Adam, but she listened to the snake.
So is that the problem? So who has the problem? The snake, Adam, or Eve? You or the serpent? Me or the serpent? Who has the problem?
You want to say the serpent.
You want to say the serpent, but the reality of the situation is we have it because we didn't listen to the little voices, the directions, the people who were trying to guide us. We didn't listen. We didn't pay attention. And so when we look at Genesis, this story that's in Genesis 2, and we go back to 15 through 24, the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. Man already had a natural place. And one of the things about relationships is we're in these relationships, and as women, sometimes we are enabling or we're getting in the way of what God naturally said. God put man, he called him to work first. What do you think about it? Because God said he put him in the garden, Eden, a beautiful place, to work and take care of it. Why are we sometimes in relationships where we're taking care of the man or taking care of our friends or taking care of all these different things when God has a natural order? What do you think?
Sometimes it's easier to, I guess, to tell somebody what to do versus them not knowing it. So, some men do know what they need to do or what they provide in a relationship, or if we're talking about relationships with a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them do know what to do. Some of them don't.
Okay.
So, again, that does play a big part. If you don't know your role, then how would you know what you're supposed to be doing?
And so, if you don't know your role, so here we are. We have got to understand the roles. Not those societal roles that say women do this, men do this, but what the biblical order is. And biblically it says man is called to work and to take care of it. He said go and take care of it. And men want to work. Ladies, don't get it mixed up. Don't beat up men, because this is not going to be a male bashing session. Men do want to work, and we understand that there have been some things in society that don't allow men to work. There have been some things that haven't happened. But it is a natural, spiritual and natural order for men to go to work and to take care of the work. And so if they're working, guess what they're going to do? They're going to learn to take care of you. So sometimes we're in the way, ladies. You got to move out the way and let him find the work.
Right.
Do you find that?
Right.
Yes. Why are you smiling?
Because you said you got to move out the way. What you do?
Have you ever been in the way?
Have I ever had my own way?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
You have?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Go ahead.
Not on.
Oh, you don't want to say it. All right.
That.
Okay. So I'm going to let you marinate and think on that, Charlize, as we continue to go. And so as we're going through this all, God gave out some commandments to Adam. And he says, he will, and the Lord told him, you are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die. So when there's a relationship and you have, the man has decided to pursue you in the relationship, not only will he be working to build, he's also going to be working along with the instructions that are given to him in life. And so he's not looking for a mother. He had a mother already.
Right. Not someone to tell him what to do.
Right. He's already been instructed. He's following the instructions. I'm going to go to work. I'm going to save. I'm going to invest. I'm going to take you on a date. Whatever he's going to do.
Right.
So as women, we need to kind of back up a little bit. What do you think?
But what happened if the man is not taking the initiative?
Then you have to slow down and allow him to take the initiative.
Oh, so match the pace.
Match the pace, yes. You've got to not take matters into your own hand. And then sometimes as women, we tend to want to take matters into our own hand. But we can't do that. We cannot do it. You know, if the spiritual order says, go to work, and if the spiritual order says, this is how you need to do this, we need to allow them. We need to allow my husband, as you're going through the dating process, the person that you're dating, to do that. You need to allow them to find time to take care of you, because naturally men want to do that. They do. Okay, it should be in their DNA. And then the Lord God said, it's not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. This is where it gets tricky. He is lonely. Man don't want to be by himself. He got his friends. He got his boys. He can hang along, but they want a partner. And it doesn't have to be a physical partner. They want someone to share in their joy, share in their laughter, share in their day. They want to be with you. So, but he's looking for you. He that findeth, yes. Why then are we out looking? Why are we going beyond what it takes? Well, we know that beauty attracts beauty, so we don't want to be careless. We don't want to be sloppy. We don't want to be self-centered. We want to be natural, but we don't want to go like the world tells us to put on clothing to attract a man.
Right.
We want to put on the clothing for the occasion that we're attending. But we want to be our natural, beautiful selves, and he will find you in the world. Do you find that happens? Do you find in talking to your friends or just in your going about your day? How do women approach dating? Or young women?
I personally think that is a 50-50 thing too.
Why? So what's the 50-50?
Like in today's society, I'm not saying that it's okay, but that is what's happening. Women do seek men do seek women. It's not really a man thing anymore. But the Bible doesn't change. It is forever true. And it's really interesting because I know I'm asking you a lot of questions, but I can also share my experience. Before I got married, I was dating, I was looking, I was hoping to be found, but
once I just said, you know what, I'm not focusing on being found. I'm not focusing on getting a husband. I'm not focusing on being in a relationship or dating. And I started focusing on the me, working internally, because you don't get to be this age and not be married and not go through some things and not deal with them. So I asked God, I sincerely went to God and said, God, show me myself. Show me my pitfalls. Show me my errors. Show me the areas that I needed to clean up to make me suitable, a suitable wife. I wasn't asking to be a helpmate, well, because I didn't really understand the helpmate at the time. But I wasn't asking to be a girlfriend.
Well, at the age too, right?
Right, I'm older now. So I wanted to be a wife. And the same thing for you. You want to be a suitable wife. Because the Bible does ask you to come together in a, yeah, and you have to go through a process dating first. And in that transparency, I was able to kind of really look at myself and say, okay, these are some areas that you need to fix up. First of all, you're a little bit too independent. You're a little bit, you can do it all by yourself. Your attitude is, okay, oh well, you might want to soften that approach a little bit. You might want to smile. You might not want to be so business oriented and so serious. And you might just want to laugh and go through life and be like, oh, this is great. Life is
Right.
good. And so there are some changes, and there were some other things that I needed to work on too. But once I put all of the, oh my goodness, why not me, stuff out the window, guess what? Kendrick found Carla. I didn't find Kendrick. He found me. And so we got to go back. It goes back to the beginning. The man is called to work. He needs to be working, not for you, but just working. And the society tells us, make them work for you, don't they? You ever heard that before?
They do.
They do. What kind of work does he have to do for you?
I just feel like if you want to be a wife,
Mm-hmm.
then you'll do the things that you have to do to be a wife. Some people, that's not everyone's end goal. Everyone's end goal is not to be somebody's wife, it's just to be somebody's girlfriend until I find somebody else that I want to hang out with again and repeat the cycle.
That's the ding, ding, ding. That's the problem. How do you become someone's wife if you're always willing to be someone's girlfriend?
But if you're willing to do that, then you can't complain.
Right. That means you're happy where you are.
Right.
Yeah. But is that where you're supposed to be? Where in the Bible did they have all them girlfriends?
You know, they have wives.
They had wives. They had wives. You didn't see girlfriends. You're right. You didn't. So somewhere it got twisted. Wives. So the end goal in your life is to be a wife. If we go all the way back to our dear mother of it all, if we get back to Eve, then that's the end goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end goal. And so Adam is lonely. There are lonely men and young men out there that would like to respect you, that would like to date you, that would like to marry you, virtual audience. They want to marry, they want to date. Your husband, if you are married, your husband, he would love to work and continue working for you.
Right.
They're out there. They're with you. They're everywhere. But you've got to go back to the beginning. Allow him to do that. Allow him to do that. And so it says, so the Lord caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and then closed up the place with flesh. And then the Lord made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. God created women so delicate, but he took a rib close to the heart of man. So when this man loves you, and when this man decides that you're the one for him, he is going to make the decision first. And then we got the show is another show when you got to make sure he is talking like God. and not like the snake.
Mm.
Because, the snake stuck in on Eve.
Right.
Yeah, you got to make sure. So, but you're so close to your heart. So close to your heart. So close to your heart. And then the man will finally say to you, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. And you shall be called woman because you was taken out of man. And that ultimate final goal is to make you his partner for life. He is not trying to divorce you. He is not trying to see if it works out for you. He says you're the one. And I do believe that when men commit to the one, you see this biblical narrative play out in your life. I really do believe that. I've always believed that. And so getting to the dating part, though. How hard is it out there?
I just feel like if a man knew that a woman was made from a rib that was close to his heart, they'd have a different disposition.
Why?
Because that's something heartfelt.
Yeah?
I was made for you.
What makes you think? I don't know if men don't know that. Do men not know that? I really don't know
I was
that.
never told that.
You was never told
So, from no man ever quoted to me.
Oh, you wasn't told that by any man that...
I heard it in one movie.
Really?
And it was in Baby Boy, yes.
See? It's
That
there,
is
the
it.
scripture. From the heart, from the rib.
Right.
Now that you know that, how does dating change for you? Or does dating change for you?
Mm-hmm.
Or do relationships and your approach to relationships change for you?
Relationships in today's society, they hold no importance. It's not important to people. You find a man today, they mess up, you're going to find somebody tomorrow to replace the man.
You still saying one thing. You find a man. Ladies, young adults, you can't find him. You find
That's
trouble.
what's happening.
You find trouble. He finds you. He finds you any and everywhere. He finds you on the pew. He finds you at the supermarket. He finds you walking.
Right.
He finds you at a community event. But he approaches you. You're not to approach him. It's not what it says here. He finds you.
That's what's happening in today's society, though.
That she's finding him.
Yes.
And look what happens.
She's finding.
Is she going through the whole 4 steps that we just talked about? Is she out of order with the loneliness? Is she not remembering she's close to the heart? She's so busy taking care of him at that point.
Or she's probably just worrying about not being lonely.
She's worrying about. But she wasn't created for that. That was not her job to not be lonely. Her job was to be next to Adam, helping him out. So now that Kendrick and I are married, I am his helpmate. My job is to help him out. My job is not to take authority over him. He got work to do. He goes to work. I go to work too because we pay bills and we have a joint things on that, and we talk about how it is. But he is in his rightful place, and I cannot get in the way of that.
Your place, though.
But you know yours now.
When I do have that.
No, this is the whole reason for this relationship conversation is to get you to this point.
Yes, now I know.
Yeah, before you know.
Right.
So that you don't go through the date thinking that, why am I not the one? Did you not just hear me? As long as I knew that I can go 50-50 and pull out my credit card and pay, as long as I knew that I could take on and do all the things that he would love to do, but I'm so quick and don't allow him the time to do it, I was not in good relationships. But as soon as I just stepped back and allowed him, no, you're not using him. Some women will, but no, if your heart is right, you're not using him when he buys you flowers. You're not using him when he goes and takes you out to dinner or a movie. You're not doing that. It's okay. Actually, he wants to do that because he wants to hear what you have to say about it.
So if you meet a man who doesn't want to do that, who feels like giving cards and flowers is it's too much.
It's too much.
Then he's no good.
Not no good. Nothing. God looked at everything he made and said it was good, but he is not the one. Is not the one. And you know, gifts are great. Gifts are nice. Because you want to see the smile on the person's face.
Right.
But if someone tells you every single day that that's not who they are, they don't want to do this, but then they want to receive gifts from you.
Right.
Right. You are unnatural. You are unnatural. No, it's not the one. Not that he's not good, just not the good one for you.
Even if he found you.
That's why you have to hear the voice of God, and you have to hear what's in the heart. You already know. It's not a secret. You've got to hear what is going on inside the individual. Okay? So even if he found you, you don't have to be available to everyone that finds you. You don't. What?
Okay.
You don't. The serpent found Eve. Think about that.
You're right.
The serpent found her. He didn't go to Adam and say, you're not going to surely die. Who did he go to? Who did he go to?
I don't know.
Charlize, you're alive. So who did the serpent talk to?
Came to Eve.
He went to Eve. Ladies, I think we're on a meltdown point right now. Something has happened. What, Char? He went to Eve. She started what?
She started everything.
Disobedience. So
she listened to.
And so I want to take you to the relationship downfall based on Eve's story. It started in the tree. Eve had to have what the tree offered. We think we have to have what the tree offered. Do you think you have to have what's being offered to you?
If what you think is being sold is good.
But everything that is not for you, although it is available. It's just not, everything's not for you. The tree was there in the garden, and it was it was Eve's listening to wrong information that caused her to go beyond the person that's giving her the right information. There is something or someone that can always feed positive information into your life. You've got to listen to that. And that's what our flesh is. We want what we see. The eye buys what it sees. We want what's available to us, but doesn't mean it's good for us. The second relationship downfall. You got to control the urge. You know when to stop yourself. Do it. These are some things that happen in relationships. He's married. He told you he was married. He's in a relationship. He is in a commitment, and that commitment is not you. He told you, I'm not looking for the same thing you're not looking for. When Kendra and I discussed being together, we discussed what we were looking for in a relationship. We're both believers, we're both Christians, and we're both adults. We knew that we could not have any physical activity outside of the realm of marriage. But we didn't get married for that. We were both looking for a way to be married together. I knew going into marriage that my goal was going to be to help him because we already understood the biblical order of marriage. And so we talked about how would I help him in marriage. And we seemed to be suitable and relatable and able to get along, which built the opportunity for us to be married. This is what you do in dating. No, the first day you meet him, You don't go talking about marriage on the first date. But if you're going to spend some time with someone, a year or two, you need to be thinking about, are you compatible enough for marriage? Are you compatible enough for the commitment? And if he's telling you, men tell you, ladies, they tell us what they're looking for. We can't fix them, and we can't change what they're saying to us. We've got to believe them.
You're expecting them to say that. You're expecting them to say that they're married, that they're in a relationship, that they're committed, that they have someone. But if they meet you and they're talking to you and they forgot to say it, and you find out, that's something different.
They did forget.
But you're expecting a man to say that, and they don't.
They don't. Not all. Some do, but not all. And they did not forget. They did not forget. You forget your keys at home. You forget your wallet. You forget to where you put your eyeglasses. But the fact that you are dating or have children or another family, you don't forget that because you go home to them at night. You want what you want, just like the serpent and Eve, and you will stop at no cost to get what you want. They did not forget. Don't be fooled. There's only two ways, a lie and a truth. Yes or no. Polar opposites of one another. Men don't forget. They just don't feel the need to tell you because you're not the commitment. You're not the commitment. Ladies, sometimes you have to deal with the fact. Men, if you're listening, you have to deal with the fact because women lie too. You're not the commitment. As much as you want to be the commitment, the reality is he told you, I'm not looking for the same thing, yet you, I'm just pointing fingers all around, persisted. Let it go. Let it go. Move on. And so the third relationship downfall, which brings me to the end, is not his fault. Yes, as a woman, I'm sitting here telling you, it's not his fault. He is who he is. The devil, the serpent, he knew his character. He knew what it is that he would do. He knew he was on purpose, and he planned. He did not trick you. You just didn't listen to the instructions, Eve. You didn't listen to the voice. And in Eve's case, it says, do not eat. So you might have heard the voice. Don't go out with him. Don't get in the car. Don't go in the house. Don't call. Don't keep the number. All of these things. Yet you wouldn't stop. It's not his fault. What do you have to say? That was a lot.
It's not his fault.
No.
Self-accountability.
You've got to do self-accountability. So as we wrap this up on relationships, I hope it's been helpful to you as we look at the story of Adam and Eve from Eve's point, because we are doing a women's month. That's not to say all relationships are bad relationships. What we take, we learn from them, and then we move forward. Charlize, do you have some parting words for us?
He who finds a way finds a good thing.
And yes. There was no dating in the Bible. Oh, there was no girlfriends in the Bible.
Oh, it was courted. They were being courted.
Oh, she says they were being courted.
Yes.
She took us back, guys. Courted.
Where?
And be courted, Charlize. As you go through life,
yes, when he finds me.
when he finds you, and you will know because you are a young adult who has been raised to serve the God. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. But you are a young adult, so you understand as you go through Bible stories and Bible narratives that there is a natural order for you as you continue to grow in God's grace. So allow him to find you. And when he finds you, you go slow. Kendrick laughs at me because he says I'm too slow. I do move slow. But he also respects the fact that slow and steady wins the race. The race is not given to the swift or the strong man, is it? No, but to the one who endures to the end. All right. So, if you heard something that you like, I invite you, Charlize invite you to like, share this message with other young adults and young people, and not just young adults, but just share this message on your Facebook page. And remember, Philippians 1:6 says, be confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you, Charlize.